This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are delighted to be joined once again by the return. I'm trying to think of the right words, and I didn't sort of preempt this, but today we're joined by Lee Gormley. Obviously, I would say probably Lee, if we'd spoke to you probably this day last week, we probably wouldn't have had a smile as so big as obviously it is this week. But back to one in ways, first one of 2024. Um, Obviously, it's the first time we've sort of I guess the last time we spoke, you were 2-0. You're now 3-1 as a pro, but like,
Hmm.
does it sort of feel like it's a sort of a chip off the shoulder sort of since obviously your defeat to Carl Simpson? You've probably been eager to get back in there and get another fight and everything else like that. So, like for you, was it a frustrating period that you couldn't get a fight probably sooner than you obviously did in Newcastle last week?
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. But yeah, it was just the frustration of the last few months has been mad. Obviously, had that last fight back in November last year. Result didn't go my way. No excuses or nothing but I wanted to get out then pretty much soon after. There's usually like a Christmas show on around here in Bolton, and I said to my coaches straight after, any chance of getting out a few weeks before or a few weeks after, excuse me, before Christmas, before because obviously you go home Christmas and stuff then, and then there's a bit of a break, and I didn't want to be going into Christmas and dwelling on like a bad result and stuff, but unfortunately then there was no Christmas show and I did have to just go home and stuff like after that result, but I just stuck at it then, just stayed positive and I stayed ready all over Christmas. Um, didn't take any time off or nothing. I just wanted to I was eager to get back. And then I've managed, just in early in the new year, I've got my name down on a show for what would have been, I think it was the 1st of March it was billed for. So I stayed ready and that was a positive for the new year. And then I just got stuck straight back into the gym. And then obviously in March, the fight was like a week or 2 weeks away or whatever it was, and the usual stuff happened. Like opponent got changed last minute, and then I got a call during training, and they said the fight got postponed originally. And then I was gutted for that, but I thought oh, silver lining, a few more weeks to prepare. And then an all week later, then the fight or the show got scrapped completely, which was sickening. So it sort of felt like a bit of time wasted then. I just stayed ready for so long, but. Again, it's one of the most frustrating things for a fighter getting a show or a fight cancelled. And it's happened quite a lot recently. Back home as well, there's been quite a few in Ireland. They keep getting pulled last minute. But yeah, it was more the frustration of having to wait for so long before I got back in. But stayed ready. Been training all summer as well, and managed to last week or on like a week's notice finally get back to it and get my hand raised again. But it was just the weight and all. It was a handling. It was frustrating. But just had a baby and all recently as well. So it was just bouncing everything and all summer, summer holidays with the wee ones and stuff. It's mad time. But yeah, I'm just buzzing that finally got back in the ring before the summer ended.
Congratulations, obviously, because I know that sort of during that, then you obviously decided, obviously, that the more important things in life than boxing, obviously, in family, and obviously another new arrival. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I guess with you taking a fight on a short notice, you sort of just everything sort of stayed normal to you. But probably, you know, I don't think you weren't boxing obviously as a pro, obviously when you had your first one. So it's like sort of a big change, sort of for you, probably in a way that mentality, I guess, is there another mouth to feed now, and probably the stress and strain that comes with that, or does the missus take care of all that side, and you can sort of focus on work and being the breadwinner, sort of, so to speak, in a way. Obviously, work continuing to work, and obviously boxing. Like, as much change for you in that sort of realm.
Yeah, there was a lot of change. It's just been even more stress from having just the one. She was born in May, and it was just after when the fight was cancelled. So that's why originally I was buzzing that I was going to get out before my wee girl came. That was the plan. But there's things just didn't go that way and stuff like, so I had like just scrap everything and wait until Ray was born and that like. But yeah, it's like extra motivation too, and it got a wee girl now, got the wee fella, he's 4 now. He's he's starting to like take an interest and stuff in boxing and things. He comes to the gym with me a lot as well, like. But yeah, like it's hectic, like family life, work life, training. Like I don't even know how I find the time myself, like, but I'm managing to squeeze it all in, like. So yeah, I'm just enjoying life at the minute, like. Life's good, like.
How are you finding, obviously, with the wee man coming to the gym? Like, obviously, is it something that I guess a lot of ones will say is like if he takes a genuine interest, you'll let him do it. Like, is your sort of perception of, I guess you're, first and foremost, you're always a fan of the sport, and everything else. But like, when you see your wee man, like, does that give you pride that he wants to follow sort of in the footsteps and be a boxer? Or are you sort of letting him, I guess he's still too young to sort of start boxing and everything else, but he's seeing what goes along with a sport? Like, would you be happy for him to get involved in boxing, or let it be down to him?
Oh yeah, I'll leave it to him. I want him to train, like, because it's the best sport there is for fitness, for health, physical and mental, like. So I'll be making him go to the gym and train, like, for sure. But in terms of like being a fighter, amateur, professional, or whatever, I would never push him to that, like, because it's tough, very, very tough. Mentally more than anything, like being a fighter, it's very, very tough, like, and can be very stressful, like. So I'll never push him to say, oh no, I'll never be one of these dads that says like, oh yeah, you have to do this, do that, and go and follow me and be a fighter, like. But I'll make him train, like, it's good for your health, as long as he's not taking too many blows and sparring. Like. But yeah. Yeah, I'll make him do a bit of training, like, but I wouldn't push him to be a fighter, like.
I guess it's one of them things, they always say, that you give the best intentions in the world until you get punched in the nose. Like, you get punched in the nose once and he's like, I'm not doing this, so I'll go and play another sport in some way. Um, like, you're 14 months obviously on since obviously you made your professional debut. Like, obviously I know you've had a defeat obviously within that period, but you've had 4 fights sort of within the 14-month period. Is it sort of is it, I can sort of tell a bit of frustration, obviously, the fact that when you had to defeat the Carl and obviously then having to wait for fights. Like, how have you found that? Being a fan of the sport. I know, I keep coming back to that, but sometimes when fans look into the sport, they think everything's easy and everything else. Like, how have you found that switch over to professional boxing and in this 14-month period?
Yeah, I sort of knew what to expect from sort of working in boxing as well, like, and being a fan. I knew these things were going to come along at some point. I was quite lucky, like, from my debut to my first 3 fights, I got them all out in a few months. I think it was 3 fights in like 5 months or 4 months or something,
Hmm.
and they all went smoothly enough. Like, obviously you had all the stresses that come with like selling tickets and whatever else, like, but in terms of like the actual shows and stuff, they all went smoothly without any trouble, like. And I remember I actually said to Becky, like, my fiance, like, it's gone a bit too smoothly here. And even after the third one, then I thought, like, well, the next one it'll just go ahead, like. But then this year, obviously, that's when all the frustrations have kicked in, like. So yeah, I sort of knew something would come along. Like, a lot of a lot of my stable mates, like, have already had fights cancelled and opponents pull out and things like that. And it hadn't happened to me just yet. And then obviously earlier this year it did, like. But it was coming, like, it always happens. There's no fighter in professional boxing that goes through their career without any bit of frustration like that, or postponements, cancellations. It just comes with the territory, like. And it's not like amateurs where, all right, a fight falls through in the day, you can fight the next the next weekend, or the week after. Like, in the pros, obviously you have to end up waiting at least a month, couple of months maybe, which is frustrating. But you just have to deal with it. Like, that's what I say, like, about the mental toughness part of the sport. You just have to keep going, no matter what happens. Like, even after a loss or postponements and stuff, you just have to stay positive and keep grafting. Like.
Did it feel probably, coming off of defeat and everything else like that, did it feel sort of did it feel as if the world was sort of against you in some ways, where you couldn't get a fight and everything else like that, and people saying you had a defeat? Like, we know what this game's like sometimes. We know as a fighter you'll sort of go, it's only a defeat if you don't learn from it and stuff like that. But like promoters sort of will take the things differently as well. If they see you coming off a defeat, they sort of maybe know there's a certain angle they can only sort of push you in fights. Like, did it feel like sort of as if boxing was against you at times, coming off of the fight to try and get a fight, and people were going, "What's your record?" I'm 2-1, and they're going, you know, were there sort of balancing things up? Did it feel at times, do you like that? Like, nobody wants to put you on shows, and well, not that they don't want to put you in shows, but they know there's more risks involved if you have another defeat that sort of could be crucial, obviously, to your career. Like, did it feel like that to you? Like, what's going on? Why is my luck changed here all of a sudden?
A little bit, yeah, to be honest. Like I think over the last few months, in that time I was out as well, domestic boxing, like small hall scene, it sort of changed a little bit as well, where promoters are they're only putting on uh like big ticket sellers or 50-50 fights on these shows that caught because we spoke before like about the costs of things like. So yeah, I felt like there were maybe opportunities where I could have got on certain shows, but I wasn't given the chance maybe like because someone else maybe sells more tickets or whatever, and people might look at your record or your last fight or whatever like that. Like, but I don't really care. Like, I don't hold grudges or nothing like that. Like, I just keep working, keep myself to myself, and I knew something would come up. Like, that's why I just kept working so hard. Like, and I knew something eventually would come up, and it's just about perseverance. Like, but yeah, we finally got there in the end. Like, and yeah, just hopefully can push on and stay busy again.
Obviously, Newcastle last week, like, I'd sort of said, during the week and things like that, they should have called it the Irish invasion. Like, did this is probably your first taster? Because I know when we previously spoke, you wanted to obviously come back home and have a fight here, but like, did it sort of feel to you in some ways like you were, if it was an Irish show? Obviously, there was five, obviously, on the one card. You obviously had James Freeman, who obviously got an Armagh man as well, and you'd even somebody from up my neck of the woods and Matty Boreland from Korean, obviously in the card. Like, did it sort of feel to you as if you were in Belfast, or if you were in, wherever? Did it feel in some ways to you as if it was like an Irish show?
It had a bit of a feel to that, yeah. Like as first on, and then opened the show, and then James Freeman he was on second, like, and then all the Irish lads were on like pretty much early on in the show. Like, I think we all had like big journeys to travel, like, but yeah, it was weird, like getting ready backstage, five Irish fellas like getting ready to fight in the middle of Newcastle, but it was a bit random, like, and did have a good Irish feel. Like there must be like some other like Irish connections to the promotion and stuff because the doctor even before the fights he was saying his dad's the carry manager or something he was saying and stuff like so. There's like just other like Irish fellas in and around the place and stuff like so it did have a good Irish feel like and yeah, it was good. It was good. James, obviously, he was on just after me, like chatting. There was not too much chatting and stuff before the fights because everyone's getting focused and that, and you just say hello and what's the crack and that, like. But yeah, it was good. 5 out of 5 for all the Irish lads as well, like, which is good. So yeah, it was a good night, like, good
It
card to get
definitely, I was going to say, it definitely gives you that buzz, and it probably gives you, I know when you previously spoken stuff as well, and we sort of tried to sort of get you obviously on shows here, but like, it gives you that sort of more of an urge now to go. I want to be, where you're hearing accents from back home and everything else like that, and you're seeing fighters, you're sort of going. It gives you more of a taster, of getting back home. Does that give you that taste now where you go, right? I want, it even urges me even more now where I want to have a show in Belfast or a show in Armagh, or even a show in Dublin.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Mark Dunlop was there as well. He was at ringside, watching all the Irish lads. I think he might promote some of them. I'm not sure, but he was there, and there's a few all Irish, but like there is quite like a strong Irish connection in Newcastle. Like there's quite a few around, like with the universities and stuff. Like, but yeah, good Irish feel around it. Like, and I've always said like I want to fight at home at some point, very very soon. Like I've never fought there, even as an amateur. I've only ever fought over here, like so that would be a dream, like and Actually, after the fight, I was speaking to a few people at home, sort of trying to see what the crack is and if I can get something sorted. Like, but there's a lot of shows at the minute are being done down south, like I think mainly around Dublin and that, like which I would love to do as well. Like, but obviously it's just a bit out of the way for any of the Lurgan boys and all, like But Belfast would be ideal, but I'm speaking to a few people at home at the minute, and it's hopefully something in the works for like maybe even an Armagh like would be unreal. Like so, I think there's good opportunities there. Like there's plenty of lads fighters from the north like that would put on a good show. Like I know James he himself or him alone like he shifts plenty of tickets. Like so. Yeah, watch the space. Like, hopefully, be something coming up. Hopefully, sometime soon.
You probably, I know sometimes they say when obviously, I know obviously at Bolton's you're sort of home and stuff now, but you'll probably not feel like you are a professional boxer until you fight at your real home. Obviously, over here, like it probably still gets you get it the fact that like you'll be walking out and you'll be going, "What's going on? Why do I feel so nervous?" But it's because it's that sort of that territory that you really wanted to do. It's like but you probably knew lace the gloves up as the first time as an amateur, going, "When can I fight in Ireland?" It's that sort of thing. Like it probably gets you really excited the fact that I can come home and I can fight.
Yeah, it'll be like making my debut all over again. I would say. If I can get something sorted soon, like fighting in Armagh or even Belfast or somewhere close to home would be unreal. Like so. Yeah, it would just be like making my debut again after a few fights. So yeah, look, hopefully you can get something sorted very soon for that.
Is it the sort of, I guess you don't want to give too much away, or you don't want to probably get too positive on the fact, because we know what obviously boxing's like. 1 minute it could be on the table, the next minute something else could happen. Like, is the plan maybe before the end of this year, or maybe in the start of 2025?
Yeah, hopefully, and towards the end of this year, like if things go all right, like it's like what it's like with like licenses and the board and stuff, and it'll be like the British board still that would be working it for in the north and all, like, but yeah, just hopefully something can get done, and then maybe next year even there'll be more shows coming up. I know Mark Dunlop, he's working on like Dublin shows and stuff at the minute, but I'd say he'll end up getting some back in Belfast maybe next year as well. Like so, yeah, I think there'll be more opportunities coming up. Like so, yeah, just exciting times. I just want to stay busy again. Very soon. Like.
That's what I was going to say. Obviously, now you're back to winning ways again. You have that adrenaline sort of rush again. That you'll not want to go 7, 8 months without a fight. Like you want to get back as quickly as you can, and if you're probably not going to take another fight at a week's notice again, but because obviously you're just that eager to go back in, but you would obviously aim to probably maybe be out again October, November sort of time around then.
Yeah, even before that, maybe like it just depends what opportunities come up. I know there's going to be some more fights coming up in and around where I am now in Bolton and stuff. So just depends on what way things are working and that. Like, but yeah, definitely out again this year. Like, but the more the merrier. Two if I can get two, three, more, whatever. Like, then buzzing. Like, just activity is key. Like I've always said that. That's why. Like all the old school fighters were so much better, like because they fought so often, like so. Yeah, hopefully
I
get out again.
know that I know I've worked wonders obviously on the last Conlan boxing show. Obviously, I got Matty Boreland obviously and John Boyd on sort of like a week's notice. So like if obviously I can try and name drop you obviously in a conversation with Conlan boxing and see if we can get you an out in the SSE arena. I think they're maybe scheduling that around about the 1st of November. So I'll maybe try and work my magic. I can't promise anything, I guess, Lee. Like anything, like I guess sometimes an opportunity has to present itself, but I'm sure you'd be open to that. Obviously, if a call came from Conlan Box and they say, "Do you want to fight in the SSE arena?" You'd probably bite your arm off just to prove that you're ready.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a bit more notice then as well, isn't it? November compared to a week, like.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that would be great. Like, never say never. Like, so let you work your magic there. Actually, I was actually speaking to Mick there like a few weeks back. He was over in the gym training. He was still looking for a coach at that time, like, and was chatting to him and stuff. He was excited to get back himself. Like he's got a new trainer and all. Like so, yeah.
Just obviously when they finally touch, obviously I know it's showing obviously the remaining timer is about 6 minutes, but I know it obviously a plan to obviously speak of this, and I guess when we start speaking of other things, sometimes I can go off canter, but obviously your gym obviously now is an Olympic medalist. Obviously Cindy has become the first. You correct me if I'm wrong here, but she's become the first refugee Olympic medalist in boxing at the Olympic Games. Like what pride and what honor that is for you in the gym.
Class. Like we've all been following Cindy for years. Like we've all known locally that she's gonna be like a big star in women's boxing for years. Like, but now she's put herself on like the global stage. And I think she's shown that like all the sponsors are coming flooding in now, all the promoters are looking at her signature like, and yeah, she's going to be a superstar. Like she's class. Like she's been on Hollowell ABC on our gym team, amateur team for a long time. She won three different national titles in different divisions. Like spars all the top ladies like Savannah Marshall, Natasha Jonas. She's been a she's just class, you know. She's such a humble person too. Like she's a great fighter and a great human being. Like, and she deserved everything she got. Like she should have had more though. Like she got the bronze and made history. And that was unreal. Like, but we all watched the final or the semi final in the gym. Like, and she should have got the win there. Like we spoke before about the decision at the Olympics decisions, and they were a bit bit of a nightmare all around. Like, but yeah, she sort of been robbed of like at least silver and maybe gold, but doesn't take away from the history she made. Like, she's a legend. Like, and yeah, she'll be achieving a lot more in the future as a pro as well. Like,
I guess it's one of them sort of, isn't it? It's like before she went, if someone said to come back with a medal, you would bite their hand off sort of for it. But it's that sort of when they're so close to it, like even though, like I think sometimes, even if you're a medalist, obviously, even if it's bronze, silver, or gold, like you be, it comes customary that promoters are going to be interested in things like that. I guess sometimes in the color depends, in the color of the medal depends on obviously which promoters, the very top end, but like that's massive, obviously, for the gym. Like, obviously, if Cindy goes pro, the attention and stuff the gym's getting. Because let's face it, a lot of the time, a lot of the stuff done in the gym's voluntary as well. So, like, it gives a lot of people attention and retribution, sort of, for a lot of the hard work and graft done for years. Like, whatever comes next for Cindy, whether she goes pro, the things are never going to be the same for her in some ways again for boxing.
yeah, 100%. Like, such a historic achievement she made. Like for Team Refugee, like it probably should have been fighting for GB as well. Like, just there was obviously issues with her passport and that, but. I think it made it even more special though when that she did it with Team Refugee and made that history, their first ever athlete to get a medal. Like so, yeah, she deserved a lot. And the gym, as you said, like elite boxing and bolton, like they've done a lot for me. They do a lot for all the fighters. Like all our coaches are just the top class. Like and they sacrifice so much every week just to keep us fit and ready. And yeah, they've done Alex and and Phil and everyone else, Tom. They've all done a great job with Cindy, especially like so. Yeah, she's reaping the rewards of that, and hopefully the gym will start reaping the rewards as well in the near future.
Definitely, I guess obviously sponsorship and things like that can come for the gyms and stuff as well. We see so often that a lot of, particularly in amateur boxing, at times, obviously, I know that your gym does amateur and pro, but we've seen so many gyms close in the past with things, and obviously Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn and stuff having to get behind tables to, gyms to keep them open. Like that success obviously is going to lead to hopefully people coming involved and going, we want to unearth the next Sunday, or we want to unearth, the next young fighter, because fighting does change lives, and proper sort of fighting, not fighting in the streets, but fighting changes lives for the better. And hopefully, with that success, obviously, it leads to more good things to come for the gym.
Yeah, 100%. Like elite, it's such a good spot in the community. It does so much, even just outside of actual boxing. Like we've got the elite community hub upstairs now, like a massive facility. Throughout the summer, they were doing like children's summer holidays events and stuff. Keeping kids off the street and boating and that. Like, there's veterans boxing, there's over 50s classes. Like, there's just so much going on. Like, so any any success that like big name fighters like Cindy can bring to the gym, it helps Alex and the gym keep going with funding and sponsorship and all, like, and there's no better gym that deserves it, like, so hopefully that brings in a lot more and puts eyes on it.
Definitely. Well, look, Lee, obviously, I'll thank you as always for your time. Obviously, I know I've sort of caught you during the sort of working day and stuff as well. So hopefully, I'm not getting in the baller, but keeping you too long. But obviously, fingers crossed, we can obviously get you some fight news soon. And I'm sure we'll catch up with you as well very soon as well.
Yeah, nice one, Stevie. Thanks very much for having me on again.
Not a
Speak
problem, Lee.
soon.
Speak to you soon. Cheers. Thanks. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you.